Welcome everyone to today's flag raising. I want to welcome today our performers. I also want to welcome Rabbi Daniel Kraus, who will be leading the prayer, and also to our flag bearers today as well.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
21 years ago, the bedrock of the United States was shocked, unraveled by the devastating events that left lives in ruins, terrorized a nation, and forever changed the topography of the world. It's a day of silence, of pain, of memory, the day that we will remember, memorialize, and honor. Today we remember the 3,000 lives that we lost on September 11th, 2001. We honor their memory, the courage of the first responders, and the men and women in uniform who continue to keep us safe. Among the nearly 3,000 souls taken from us on 9/11 were 10 Australians. To the families and others present with a personal connection to the ones fallen, we embrace you, we support you, we mourn with you, we stand with you in your loss and pain, today and every day. I remember exactly where I was, as I'm sure each of us do with certainty. When we heard this devastating news, I was living in Melbourne, Australia, watching TV, and the broadcast was interrupted with the news of what had just taken place. Disbelief and shock. How can two planes fly into a building? There are moments for rebuilding and moments for recognition, moments of grief, moments of growth, moments to memorialize, and moments of momentum. Today we pause and we grieve. From Elisa, who had to choose between being burnt to death or jumping to a death from the 83rd floor, she was 32 years old. Or Bruce, who escaped and ran back to retrieve something from his team, who made it out, but Bruce never made it back. He was 53. To Kevin Dennis, to Yvonne Kennedy, to Lesley Thomas, to Andrew Knox, our fellow Aussies, who never ever made it home. It's our duty to recall, it's our duty to remember, and keep on saying these names. It isn't comfortable to be uncomfortable. It isn't comfortable to feel agony. and face the horrific pictures and hear of loss and trauma, but this is our duty. It's our duty to immerse in their stories, to hear their testimony, to preserve and document these atrocities, and to allow these stories to permeate our collective memory and to move us, to compel us to do better, to compel the world to do better. We must convey the power of memory and history forward so that each successive generation understands the meaning and obligation that flow from this day, that even if they can't personally recall it. Today our enemies have reminded us in the most devastating manner that we all have a shared destiny to live in peace. We must stand together to protect our world. We must set aside our differences of race, of religion, of color, and unite against all forces of evil and hate. We must never falter in the defense of what we aspire to freedom, to human dignity, to religious pluralism and mutual respect. In the world's moments of agony, we rose with bravery, with selflessness, with heroism and with unity. We saw the best of our neighbors, the instinctive courage of first responders, friends and strangers, and countries like ours, Australia, who came offering assistance to America. We commemorate 9/11 filled with sadness, but also with purpose, with tears, but also with optimism and joy. This is the only fitting memorial we can create to thousands of lives shattered and lost. We conclude with a memorial prayer for the victims, to the 10 Australians who perished on 9/11, as well as those victims who lost their lives in the horrific Bali bombing. Almighty God, we stand before you in prayer. We come together in unity and friendship to honor September 11, 2001 victims and the victims of the Bali bombing. Those two fateful days will remain in our hearts and in our minds forever. We remember those who died in the attacks and venerate the heroism of those firefighters and police officers who lost their lives while saving the lives of others. Av HaRachamim, our Father of compassion, we beseech you, shelter the souls of the dead. The graceful shadow of your wings, give strength and comfort to the survivors to find fulfillment. Give courage to those who fight terror and protect the innocent from danger. Avinu Shebashamayim, God in heaven, who created all his people in his image, provide wisdom to the leaders of the world to be guided with righteousness and peace. Teach us to revere the sanctity of life, reject the evil of terror, and recognize the danger of a world filled with violence. Help us honor the words of the prophet Malachi, who did not have one father, who does not God create us. We implore you, God of mercy, give us strength and perseverance to stay true to our moral bearings. Be with us and direct us as we strive to make the world kinder and gentler. May we teach our children to learn and to think, consider and to reason. May we be courageous in thought and in deed. Bestow upon us blessings of peace, so may we live to see the day when nations will not learn more anymore. And may we say, Amen.
On November 11, 1993, the Honourable P.J. Keating MP delivered the eulogy for the unknown Australian soldier. In it, he spoke to the Anzac legend, a legend of free and independent spirits whose disciplines arrived less from military formalities and customs than the bonds of mateship and the demands of necessity. Today, we gather as a community to honour that same Anzac legend by commemorating the 10 Australians who perished on September 11, 2001, just a few hundred metres from where we stand, and the 88 Australians who perished on the island of Bali exactly 1 year, 1 day and 1 month later. However, unlike the unknown Australian soldier, we know these Australians' names, and we always will. We know where they were born and precisely how and when they died. We know where they had made their homes. We know their age and their circumstances, whether they were from the city or the bush, their occupation, what religion, if they had a religion, if they were married or single. We know whom they loved and who loved them. If they had children, we know who they are. They are not lost to us, nor are they lost to their families. We will always remember who these Australians were. Unlike the unknown soldier, whose anonymity shields us from the circumstances of his death, all of us witnessed the terror these Australians' final moment. For those of us who still find it too painful to watch the images of those fateful days, we are yet compelled by the same bonds of mateship and the demands of necessity to remember these fallen Australians in a tradition that has continued for more than a century. In doing so, we set aside our personal challenges and remind ourselves of the core values of the Anzac legend. Borrowing also from the words of the Honourable P.J. Keating, we have lost more than 100,000 lives, and with them their love of their country and all of their hope and energy. But out of these tragedies, stories of bravery and sacrifice, and with them, a deeper faith of what it means to be Australian.
My Country by Dorothea McKellar. The love of field and coppice, of green and shaded lanes, of ordered woods and gardens is running in your veins. Strong love of grey blue distance, brown streams and soft dim skies. I know, but cannot share it. My love is otherwise. I love a sunburned country, a land of sweeping plains, of rugged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. I love her far horizons. I love her jeweled sea, her beauty and her terror, the wide brown land for me. A stark white ring-barked forest, all tragic to the moon, the sapphire-misted mountains, the hot gold hush of noon. Green tangle of the brushes where lithe lianas coil, and orchids deck the treetops, and ferns the warm, dark soil. Core of my heart, my country, her pitiless blue sky, when sick at heart around us we see the cattle die. But then the grey clouds gather and we can bless again the drumming of an army, a steady, soaking rain. Core of my heart, my country, land of the rainbow gold, for flood and fire and famine she paces back threefold. Over the thirsty paddocks watch, after many days, the filmy veil of greenness that thickens as we gaze. An opal-hearted country, a willful, lavish land. All you who have not loved her, you will not understand. Though earth holds many splendors, wherever I may die, I know to what brown country my homing thoughts will fly. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember. Kevin Dennis, Alberto Dominguez, Elisa Ferraina, Craig Gibson, Peter Gyulavary, Yvonne Kennedy, Andrew Knox, Lesley Thomas, Stephen Tompsett, Leanne Whiteside. We will now read the names of the 88 victims of the Bali bombings.
Gayle Airlie, Belinda Allen, Renae Anderson, Peter Basioli, Christina Betmilik, Matthew Bolwerk, Abbey Borgia, Debbie Borgia, Gerardine Buchan, Steve Buchan,
Chloe Byron, Anthony Cachia, Rebecca Cartledge, Bronwyn Cartwright, Jody Kearns, Jane Portini, Jenny Portini, Paul Cronin, Donna Croxford, Kristen Turner,
Francois Dahan, Sylvia DeLay, Joshua Deegan, Andrew Dobson, Michelle Dunlop, Craig Dunn, Shane Foley, Dean Gallagher, Angela Galotta, Angela Gray,
Byron Hancock, Simone Hanley, James Hardman, Billy Hardy, Nicole Harrison, Tim Hawkins, Andrea Hall, Adam Howard, Paul Hussey, Josh Eilert.
Carol Johnstone, David Kent, Dimi Kotranakis, Elizabeth Kotranakis, Aaron Lee, Justin Lee, Stacy Lee, Danny Lewis, Scott Lysat, Linda Makawana.
Sue Maloney, Robert Marshall, David Mavridis, Lynette McKeon, Marissa McKeon, Jenny Murphy, Amber O'Donnell, Jessica O'Donnell, Sue Ogier, Jody O'Shea.
Corey Poltridge, Charles Van Renae, Brad Ridley, Ben Roberts, Bronwyn Ross, David Ross, Kathy Salvatore, Greg Sanderson, Kathy Seelan, Lisa.
Tom Singer, Anthony Stewart, Julie Stevenson, Jason Stokes, Vahik Suman, Nathan Swain, Tracy Thomas, Clint Thompson, Robert Thwaites, Jonathan Wade.
Vanessa Waldo, Julie Wallace, Shane Walsh-Till, Robin Wester, Marlene Whiteley, Charmaine Britton, Jared Yeo, and Louisa Service. of joy and peace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was lost, but now I see.
Say you've gone. Say you've knocked off for a smoker, and you'll be back later on. Hey, true blue. Hey, true blue. Give it to me straight, face to face. Disappearing, just another dying race. Hey, true blue. True blue. Is it me and you? Is it mom and dad? Is it a cockatoo? Is it standing by your mate when he's in a fight? Or just Vegemite? True blue, I'm asking you. Hey, true blue, can you bear the love? Will you tie it up with wire just to keep the show on the run? Hey, true blue. Hey, true blue. Now be fitting. Is your heart still there? If they sell a sound like sponge cake, do you really care? Hey, true blue. True blue. Is it me and you? Is it mom and dad? Is it a cockatoo? Is it stand by your mate when she's in a fight? Or will she be right? True blue, I'm asking you. True blue, is it me and you? Is it mom and dad? Is it a cockatoo? Is it standing by your mate when he's in a fight?